It's about 5 years since Kenya Airways launched direct flights between Nairobi and New York. The national carrier is the only airline that has non-stop flights between Nairobi and John F. Kennedy International Airport. On the controls of this Dreamliner on a recent flight from New York to Nairobi was Captain Eric Njuguna and First Officer Bob Otiende. 14 hours non-stop.
The route is doing pretty well. I'd like to encourage all the passengers who have not flown with us to join us on this flight and test us. For those of you that have been loyal to us, we thank you again and keep being with us. I've been with the airline now for 26 years, now approaching to 27 years. Flown various aircrafts starting from the Fokker 50. And for that, I would also encourage our juniors, if you'd like to join us, this is a good career.
We do have now an enhanced service. We've recovered pretty well since post-COVID period. We are now flying daily for the summer season all the way to September. And then we'll go down a bit in October, November, and then back to daily in December. And then we open the year next year, January, with daily flights. So we have really enhanced our service into the States, and we want to continue building more and more upon that.
The US remains Kenya's biggest source market of international tourists, and as the peak season sets in, the national carrier is bracing itself for a busy period.
Another 30 to 40% of these passengers actually are going beyond Nairobi. So what we are doing is actually connecting New York to the rest of Africa. We have major cities that we serve, like South Africa, Ghana in West Africa, and obviously the whole of East African region is a very important market for us.
Definitely go. It's only 15 hours too, which is like not bad.
During the recent open day at the Kenya Embassy in Washington, D.C., we met enthusiastic potential Kenya Airways customers. Have you ever been to Kenya, no?
No, but I would like to.
You'd like to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go through Kenya Airways.
You will come through Kenya Airways?
I have to.
Wow, fantastic. Kenya Airways is a great airline. What have you heard about it?
I heard that it's not too bad. It's about a 14-hour flight from America to Kenya. So I'm excited.
It's exciting developments. We have new partners in place. We now have JetBlue in addition to Delta and American Airlines. That has enhanced the scope of our distribution. We are now able to access more cities within the US, and our customers do have more opportunities to access the wider US point.
The good news is that you can now fly to other cities in the US through Kenya Airways code-share arrangement with its American partners. You can similarly fly into New York from other cities in the US through the airline's partners.
We do have a code-share with Delta, and we are still talking to them to get additional points from the existing 22 points that we currently have. And then we have an interline agreement with American Airlines that covers the whole country, and we have recently introduced JetBlue Airways as an additional interline partner that also gives us access to the whole of the US, Canada, and the Caribbean. Major cities like Atlanta, you can go to Canada, but also interesting points like the Caribbean. For instance, you can now access Barbados with JetBlue Airways and Kenya Airways through our New York service.
But there are those who want Kenya Airways to introduce more direct flights to other cities in the US. Trufena Choti, a Kenyan who is engaged in community work in Baltimore and Washington, D.C., wants Kenya Airways to consider Washington, D.C.
If KQ could do a code share with the airlines that operate from the airports in Washington, D.C., get the airline, get somebody into JFK, and the layover should not be more than 3 hours, or even 3 hours is fine, then somebody gets into Nairobi, many people will take that.
New York was Kenya Airways' preferred destination, partly because of its strategic location.
New York is an important city for us from a business perspective. It's the headquarters of the UN General Assembly. We also have a big community of Kenyans based here in New York. and obviously that does work very well for us with the non-stop service.
Normally I fly Kenya Airways, and the reason is direct flight home. I take one flight from New York and I'm in Nairobi the following day. You save time, you avoid passing through Europe, which is a big connection. They fly one of the best airline. I don't know whether people are aware of this. They fly Dreamliners, and Dreamliners pressurization is very good. So you have less actually jet lag when you fly KQ. It's proud of Kenya people. We should also sell our own. We should also, even encourage our government officials, so they fly to America, they should fly Kenya Airways. They should fly our flag, like other government officials to do that.
Cargo is doing extremely well. We now are working with, for instance, the US State Department, who also appreciate the directness of the service. We are working with a lot of traders, especially in Kenya, to bring in their goods. So we are promoting trade between East Africa and Africa in general to access the market, especially here in New York.
Kenya Airways plays a very important role, especially for fruits and vegetables, and also in terms of bringing in the light products that can be carried through the aircraft, especially the perishable products. And it also plays a role in tourism, in promoting our tourism, taking visitors back at home, and also to various destinations that they pass through JKIA.